Hey, what up, man? So yesterday, um, uh, I had my first trolling trolling day, my first official trolling trolling day. Went into the chat room of a live stream, and usually when I go in the chat room live stream, I counterpoints or whatever. I don't really make too much jokes or fun, but if something said I don't agree with or something I do agree with, whichever it may be, I'll make the points and counterpoints and everything. I keep it moving, But I had time yesterday, so why not? Have a little fun. And the this whole fucking nationality, race, culture thing was brought up, and it's funny to me, bro. Uh, and I got specific. I use Lupita Nyong'o as an example, right? Well, no, actually, they use Lupita Nyong'o as an example, and like, oh, she's Mexican, and and I'm like, Mexican, like because I remember when she had her big jump for the movie 12 Years a Slave and all, and I think she won an Oscar for that performance. She had a lot of media coverage, and they did stories on her, and she was doing they were doing a segment on her, and she was braiding hair, and she was talking about specifically about her people and how her culture was and all these other things. So I learned something new. I didn't even know she was born in Mexico, but I knew she was African because she not only mentioned that she was African, she mentioned like her tribe. Again, shout out to TLJ for that. Because again, I don't think the black, quote unquote, black American, or so-called black, as he'd say, understands culture, and heritage and things like that. Because we really don't have that, right? You know, black people assimilate the culture of the people they claim to hate. The devil, as they say, the same white man that's oppressing them, and it's supreme and all this shit. That's whose culture you follow. But either way, I'm not. I digress. I won't get too far into that, but we'll come back to it later. So, you know, me knowing what I see with my own eyes, and they was, oh, she's Mexican and this and the other, and at one point in time, I think they even said like, her mom's Mexican or some shit. And I'm like, what? I'm like, nah, man, what are you guys talking about? And so I used the Google machine and went to look it up, and of course, as I saw, her dad is something like a politician and whatnot, I think, and he was on some trip, and uh, they had her while he was in Mexico. That's why she is of Mexican nationality. That's where she was born. But any and everything about her is strictly of African Kenyans to be specifically, and I think it's called the Luo people, Kenyan. All right. So this is what happens, man. We try to get too technical. All right. Again, it's a very very blurry line when you don't, because we don't have a culture. Again, we want to put black on everybody else. You know, everybody just because of their skin tone and their the pigment and the hue of their skin, we want to claim them as us, right? And I already made a video about that, so I'm not really too deep into it. But this is to point out the deficiency in that we have here in culture. All right, culture just isn't you know the music and the clothing and things like that. But more importantly, culture is a fine line of lineage and heritage that you can go back to and say, this is where we begin. All right, this is our foundation. And unfortunately, here the black American, quote unquote black American, again, which black itself isn't a race. All right, that's why when you say black, it's so ambiguous, and we're so quick to adapt it to everyone else, and not understanding that other people will adapt it to only to that benefit, but not when it's, when it's not going to benefit them. They're going to leave it alone. They're going to claim Kenyan, or African, or Dominican, or Cuban, or Brazilian, whatever it may be. Once when they're not amongst you, all right, and they're not trying to get in your good graces, or not trying to get something from you, that black shit's out the window, bro. Because you know what? They're going to harken back to their culture first, right? When you say all those things, those ands, ands and cans, all right, that's them harkening back to something that's again, embedded in their minds, all right, in their minds, in their beings, and they're told they're special because of the link to that, and they're told the history of that. Unfortunately for us, again, this is where we really get into the nitty gritty here. All of our heritage and culture was given to us by the quote unquote oppressors, right? Our history is told to us by them, right? But you have, black men who have done quote unquote black, or we'll say African descent, to do research that has countered a lot of the things we've been taught. And if when you look at it, man, and you understand like the whole process of the slave trade and seafaring in order to get the 12.5 million slaves that reportedly came from the west coast of Africa. If you know anything about sailing, bro, that'd be some hellified trips and just straight shots, like back to back to back to back to back to back to back over a 300-year period in order for you to get 12.5 million people, and I think they say only like 10 million or whatever survive. But either way, just use the bigger number from Africa to either the Caribbean. So the majority of the slaves were transported to the Caribbean, and then they were either sent to North America or South America. They say just under 400,000 were shipped directly from West Africa to the actual United States themselves. Okay, so again, when you have the Van Sertima's, of back in the day, and you have like the Dan Callaways of today, and plenty of people that would be considered, I think they call them either Afro-centric enthusiasts or something like that. They destroyed Ivan Van Sertima, bro. They destroyed his reputation, despite him having done years upon years of anthropologist research, bro. Going, he looked at the cultures between Africa and a lot of the things down in South America and Central America, bro, and showed and had the proof to show and tell them, hey, look, this sculpture is directly linked to this sculpture back in Africa. He even went to talk about the currents and the things, certain currents within the Atlantic, and have documentation of it too, to show where if you take certain currents from Atlantic, it takes you to a straight shot to the Americas, so on and so forth. And not only a straight shot, it reduced the time in which you got there. And pretty much what Ivan Van Sertima told you is like, hey, this whole slavery thing is, again, it happened. And a lot of other people are coming to find out and tell you, like in Dane Calloway's today, slavery did happen, yes. But to the extent of that you're told that it happened, not so much. But again, if you're going to let your oppressors tell you who you are, what you are, how you came about, well, that's why you always see them as supreme. Okay? See, it's always funny to hear people talk this, white man this, white man that, or so on and so forth, but the first person they're going to believe is the white man, right? Who's going to be the man to, clear the name and continue the research of Van Sertima, right? Especially in today's day and age, bro. I mean, this man had to do a lot of traveling and shit. You don't have to do half of that now with the way we have technology built and the networks and the ways you have availability to information streams and those type things, bro. You can get a picture of something here and be something totally, somewhere totally different, and be able to compare it, to something there versus taking, hours upon hours of trips and things around the world in order to compare information and data. But again, who you gonna believe, bro? All right, we so focused on the black and again the nationality and this that. Look, man, what's really important though? What's important here? Yeah, you were born here. But what are you? You're American, right? Yeah, you're American. Yeah, you're not African. You're something different, bro. You too many years removed from the source to claim the source. And like COJ say anyway, man, all you niggas talk that Africa shit, bro. Y'all niggas not going to Africa. You're not gonna go back to Africa and live like an African if you had to. You had to fucking go back, especially you women. You had to go to Africa and get down and listen to a man and do and follow those the ways of that culture and their customs and shit and the way they get down. You're not doing that shit. But thanks to Black Panther, Wakanda forever, right? So at the end of the day, man, black people are the way we are because we don't know who we are. All right, we're so quick to liken everything to everything else just by again something simple as this skin tone, bro, to make you say you're the same. And no, you're not. No, you're not. Again, if you go to Europe and you get a Polish guy, an Irish guy, a Scottish guy, so on and so forth, right? And you tell them they're all the same, they were like, no, we're not. They will fight you over that shit, man. All right, them soccer games and shit, and they I remember seeing the while I was over there, they were showing a commercial where bro, people get killed over that shit. A rivalry, those country rivalries and those cultural rivalries, just amongst them, that shit's real, bro. That's real. I'm not, that motherfuckers will cuss you out. You call a Scottish guy, or Irish guy, man, they take that shit serious. Same thing if you go to here, call a fucking Puerto Rican a Mexican or some shit like that. They will let you know, hell no, I'm not no fucking Mexican, man. Well, I'm not no fucking Puerto Rican. I'm this, I'm that. This is and that's not just because of their nationality, it's because of their fucking culture. But because niggas don't understand it and they want to make it say it's all the same. Oh well, everybody's the same race. There's only 3 races, so that's all that matters. Okay, yeah, again, you're getting too technical, bro. Is that it from the base? Yeah, from a base point, from the I guess the scientific standpoint, yeah, it is. But again, because you don't understand it, because all you know is black, and your skin tone being linked to your race and your skin tone, and your color pigmentation, your melanin equaling your race, you're so quick to have the damn to use black as the fucking race and to use black as the fucking way that you're gonna do everything, bro. Shit's crazy. But all in all, man, at the end of the day, niggas gonna do the same shit, man. Niggas gonna act like they know this, that, and the other, and they winning the argument for the sake of winning the argument, but they're not learning anything that's important, and they're not seeing the bigger picture. And everybody else around you but you, even the people you claim to look like you and don't claim you, know who the fuck they are. You don't. You let the same person you complain about tell you who you are and what you are for your entire fucking being, bro. And it's 80 shit. If and when they do want it, a lot of y'all niggas gonna be surprised. A lot of y'all niggas gonna be disappointed. All right, you want to be a slave so damn bad, bro, that you claim it in 2019. But hey, man, Y'all can have that shit. That's that on that one, bro. I'll catch you on the next one.